We're going to tell you the Easter story.
The Easter story starts on Palm Sunday.
Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey for the Passover feast.
People lay down palm leaves and their cloaks because they thought Jesus was very important.
They shouted Hosanna, which means save us.
Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with his disciples.
After the meal, they had bread and wine, which is where we get communion from. He said that one of his disciples would betray him.
Everyone denied it, and Jesus said, "The one I give the bread to will deny me."
He gave the bread to Judas, and at once they knew who it was.
Jesus told Peter that he would deny him 3 times before the cockerel crows.
After the meal, Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray.
Jesus told the disciples to stay awake, but they fell asleep.
The temple guards came to arrest Jesus because Judas had told them where he was.
The guards took Jesus to Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate didn't want to kill Jesus, so he asked the crowd, "Free Barabbas, a murderer, or punish Jesus?"
The crowd who loved Jesus on Palm Sunday now wanted him punished. Barabbas was set free.
Jesus was stripped, whipped, and was made to wear a crown of thorns.
He carried a cross through the streets while people mocked him.
The Romans took Jesus to the top of the hill where they nailed him to a cross with a sign that said King of the Jews. He was crucified alongside 2 criminals.
Jesus asked God to forgive the soldiers because they didn't know what they were doing.
When he died, the temple curtain was ripped in 2.
Jesus was taken down from the cross and put into a tomb which was sealed by a giant rock and guarded by soldiers.
3 days later, the earth shook.
Mary and some of her friends were going to the tomb, but when they arrived, they saw that the stone had been rolled away and the tomb was empty.
They saw an angel who said to them, "Do not be afraid, Jesus is risen.
Go and tell Peter and the other disciples he is alive."
Jesus appeared to Mary and the disciples to prove to them that he had risen from the dead like he promised them he would.
After he had reassured them, he ascended up to heaven to be with God.
And that is the Easter story.